Hey y'all, let's make a video that's just for me because I like to have my videos on and listen to my own voice hypnotize me. I find it I find it helps my unconscious get organized. So let's do that and I will share it with you because I think what I'm having difficulty with will help you. I want you to notice I've got my comfy hypnosis clothes on. I didn't like to encourage you to get comfortable, and I'm sitting in a chair that I find really comfortable. And I've got my hair fixed in I'm not getting all fixed up because I'm staying home being comfortable kind of way, right? We are getting comfortable here. All right. So, what am I trying to accomplish here today? What I'm trying to accomplish here is putting myself in a state that I would like to be in instead of letting other people put me in a state. Does that make sense to you? So, the past 2 days, I've come home from work with other people's nonsense stirring me up. This is not how to live. I can't recommend this. This is not what I want to do moving forward. Let's start by noticing our feet on the floor and noticing that there's something called our Earth Star, which is our chakra that connects to the earth. Let's take that chakra that living the lives that we live, that chakra ends up creeping up between our knees and our feet, kind of like a tail that ends up between our legs. Um, let's take that chakra, let's visualize it, and bring it down into the earth, like a foot or so into the earth. Not yet, in just a moment, I think you'll find that it's easier and easier for you to envision your earth star in the earth, about a foot into the earth. And as you notice your earth stars in the earth, you'll notice that the energy source of the earth is connecting to your earth star. And that wonderful energy from the earth that recharges us and makes us feel whole and makes us feel welcome and makes us feel a part of each other is nourishing you. Notice how the earth nourishes you. Forgive me, my upstairs neighbor is making some noise. Let's breathe in and out and notice ourselves being nourished by the earth. Now, above our heads, so here's our crown chakra, but above our heads, we have our sun star. And it's about a foot above our heads. And let's kind of stretch it up and let it connect to cosmic energy so that it completes the channel between the earth, our body, and the cosmos. And notice how as soon as we complete that circuit channel, I'm not entirely sure what the technical terms are, complete that connection with the energy, that it becomes easier and easier for us to notice what is called our biofield. It's how the energy cycles. And that cycle of energy creates a field around us that looks like a torus, meaning circle over here, circle over here. If we were to split it down the center, but if we looked on it, it would look like a donut. It's just the way the energy's moving. Let's blow all the air out of our lungs. Take air in. That's right. Noticing our biofield. Noticing what color it is now. Noticing that we can change the color with the state that we're in. That's right. Noticing any of the rough places in our biofield. Places of resistance. Resistance to what? Resistance to being our truest self. Thank you very much for asking. Let's see if we can be with the resistance to our truest selves. I wonder if we can notice where we are inside of our biofield, if we're currently in the center. I trend toward being a little bit more to the left of center, which would be nice for us to shift ourselves so we're in the center of our biofield. That's right. I'm noticing mine undulating. I had to close my eyes. Apologize. But I needed to check on mine. And for whatever reason, talking to you and checking at the same time was hard. So I closed my eyes. So let's check to see where we are in our biofield. See if we can center ourselves. See if we can find any resistance. I got a little bit behind my left shoulder blade. Let's be with our resistance to be in our highest and best selves, mostly our self, that version of ourselves that's closest to ourselves. How would we put that? Our essential self, the one where we are not masking for other people, the one where we are our most self. Notice if there's anything that shows up as resistance. As I'm talking about it, I'm noticing that there's like a buzzing in my ear. Noticing some popping in my ear. Notice what's going on with your body when we talk about your biofield and resistance to it. Are you seeing anything? Meaning, so let's think about how we think. So when you think about resistance to being your most self, and you have that thought, is it a video thought? Is it a thought where you have an internal dialogue? Is there a smell that's associated? Is there a taste that's associated? Do you feel sensations in your body? Just notice these things. That's right. Okay. So now that you're getting a sense of all of these things, maybe let's try to do a little bit of a hypnotic induction. So I'm going to warn anybody that is driving or running water or cooking or anything that requires your attention to either stop or turn off this video so that you can have your undivided attention on this hypnosis video. That's right. You deserve this time to yourself. So notice how you're sitting in the chair or lying on the bed. And notice how your body rests on the bed, in the chair. Notice the place where your body comes into contact with whatever you're resting on. That's right. Notice how that feels. Notice how the weight of your body is being supported by whatever you're resting on. That's right. Take a second and notice the weight of your legs. Notice the weight of your arms. Notice the weight of your torso. That's right. And notice how it's now easier and easier to relax. Take a moment and look around the room that you're in. Notice that you could be noticing the shape of the objects, or for a bit of a change, we could notice how noticing the space between the objects and the shape of the space between the objects makes us relax more and more. That's right. Notice how the shape of the spaces, when we perceive them, automatically sends a signal to our body that we are relaxed. Now, what I'd like you to do is notice that you can widen your peripheral vision. Some of you may want to use your finger by placing your finger in the outermost part of your peripheral vision, and then pulling your finger back and including that space into your peripheral vision, widening and widening your peripheral vision and getting more and more relaxed. That's right. You're more and more relaxed. That's right. Now, let's look up and back. Take our eyes up and back and notice how rolling our eyes up and back makes us more and more relaxed. Taking a deep breath and blowing it out. Another deep breath and blowing it out. That's right. Now, what I would like you to do, not yet, but in just a moment, when it makes sense to you, I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and notice that it's easier and easier to relax with your eyes closed. And as you relax with your eyes closed, you'll find it easier and easier to breathe deeply and completely. And as you breathe deeply and completely, you'll find that your eyes feel more and more comfortable being closed. They're so comfortable. It's harder and harder to keep your eyes open. And not yet, but in just a moment, when it feels right to you, you'll try and open your eyes. And you'll find that it is very, very difficult to open your eyes. And you'll find it easier and easier to be relaxed. And if you were to hear a noise over here in my apartment on the video, or if you were to hear a noise in your environment, you wouldn't be disturbed because the sound of my voice makes you more and more relaxed. That's right. Now, with your eyes closed, I would like you to notice that in your imagination, you find a door. And when you walk toward that door, you notice that it's easy to open the door. And as you open the door, you notice a staircase that is perfectly lit. At the bottom of the staircase is a room with exactly the right lighting for you to relax. So we're going to walk down the stairs now. 1, that's the first step. Taking the second step, 2, third step, 3, getting more and more relaxed with each step down, 4, one more step, 5, more and more relaxed, 6, 7, more and more relaxed as we walk down the stairs, 8, 9, 10. It's getting easier and easier to be more and more relaxed. 10, 11, 12, and the last step, 13. You find yourself in a room that is perfectly lit for you to relax, and that there is the most comfortable place for you to lie down. And not yet, but when you are ready, you will lie down and find it so comfortable and so relaxing to lie in this room that is perfectly lit and has a really comfortable place for you to lie down. And as you lie down, you will find it easier and easier for you to leave every concern that you've ever had in a space that cannot be accessed from this room. All of the things that make you tired or make you sad or make you angry exist someplace else. Here, you may just relax. That's right. You may relax here. And you'll find the more that you relax, the more resources that you have and the more resources that find you. And as you relax, every concern that you've had in your whole life and every irritation that you've had in your whole life has caused you to have vast resources that you are now capable of enjoying. You have the privilege of this relaxation that allows you to have access to all of these resources that you were able to acquire through struggle over your life. Let's notice all of these resources. I wonder, are these resources something that you see? If you see them, notice all the pictures or all the videos of all the resources that you have. That's right. You are very resourceful. Look at all of those resources. Are these resources something that you hear? Is this a voice telling you about your resources? Are these songs singing about your resources? Are there sounds? How do you represent these resources? How do you know that you have these vast, vast resources that are made entirely for you? That's right. Notice all of these resources. Do you know about these resources because of sensations in your body? Does it feel like you have a lot of resources? Notice the sensations in your body when I say the word resources. That's right. Notice the vast amount of resources that you have access to in your unconscious mind. That's right. Notice the places in your body where you are noticing some boundary around these resources. Is this boundary good for you? Is it useful for you? Or is it okay to ask the boundary to allow you to have access to the resources that you have? Just notice what happened when you ask the boundary. If this limitation to your resources is necessary. That's right. That's right. Excuse me. I think you'll find that if you ask all the things that are preventing you from your resources, if it would be okay if you had access to your resources, I think you'll find that you will get an answer that will make sense to you. Just be patient. Sit with those barriers. That's right. Give yourself a few more seconds and then notice how much access you have to your resources. I wonder if there are more resources that you would like to have. And I wonder if you got curious about what resources you want, would you be able to get those resources if you were curious about what resources you want? And then curious about how you would get the resources that you want. Take a second to be curious. That's right. I wonder what would happen if when you were curious, you thought about being flexible. That's right. What resources would you get by being both curious and flexible at the same time. That's right. Now, what happens when we add patience? Let's add patience. Patience for ourselves, and the most difficult part for me, patience for other people, because how much time are they going to take? So let's give patience to other people, because we know that that's hard. That's right. I wonder what happens to our resources when we have curiosity, flexibility, and patience. That's right. Notice what happens to our resources. I wonder what would happen to our resources if we added playfulness. That's right. Notice playfulness. Breathe in playfulness. Step in the playfulness. Notice what happens to our resources when we are playful. That's right. Now let's add sense of humor and laughter. What happens to our resources? That's right. Now, not yet, but in just a moment, you'll find that your imagination creates a long list of other traits that you have that would help you be more resourceful. Notice how amazing that your imagination and your unconscious mind can be so that you can be more and more resourceful. Now, what I want you to do is breathe deeply and all the way out, and again in, and notice across the room is the most resourceful version of you that has ever existed so far. And across the room is where you could go and stand in that most resourceful version of you and become the most resourceful version of you. So not yet, but in just a moment, you will imagine yourself getting up from the place that you're lying so comfortably. Not yet, but in a moment, you'll get up and walk across the room and stand inside of that most resourceful version of you. That's right, it's time now. Get up and walk across the room and stand inside of the most resourceful version of you. See what you see. Hear what you hear. Feel what you feel. Smell what you smell. Taste what you taste. And notice how truly resourceful you are. How you could solve any problem in this state of resourcefulness. and how you could be very, very patient and very, very creative and very, very curious. That's right. Let's breathe. That's the most resourceful versions of ourselves. In and out. Noticing that we get more and more resourceful. Now, let's snap ourselves into the vacuum sealed Tupperware container that is our most resourceful selves. And let out the air. And we're snapped inside of that Tupperware container that is our most resourceful selves. And now we're going to go back up the stairs in our most resourceful selves, walking up the stairs, 13, 12, 11, 10, noticing that we are our most resourceful selves, going back up into our conscious part of our mind as our most resourceful selves. 9, 8, 7. As we approach our conscious mind, we are noticing that we are still our most resourceful selves. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're still our most resourceful selves. 2, 1. And now we are back in our conscious awareness, waking up, and we are our most resourceful selves. And we are consciously aware of being our most resourceful selves. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you as much as it's going to help me. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.